Welcome to today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. Time for 4 minutes for questions with Wes Brown, Talk Business and Politics contributor. I haven't seen you since before New Year's.
Yeah.
Happy New Year's
Happy
to you.
New Year to you, man.
Yeah. You come up with any good resolutions this year?
No, I don't do that.
You don't?
No.
You just implement them throughout the year as they come along.
Yeah. That's it.
Hey, mine's more pocket squares. That's what my New Year's resolution is to wear more pocket squares. So that's what I'm doing right now. So,
All right.
I even went and bought some, so I just think it's time to step my game up a little bit. So
Okay,
we're heading into our 19th year this year, Wes.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
that's impressive. I got to start acting my age.
Okay.
I'm not a teenager for much longer.
That won't happen.
Let us talk about some current events. Let's begin with medical marijuana. Last week, Jeff Sessions, the U.S. Attorney General, rolls out a new directive to states across the nation that they will start enforcing federal marijuana laws. This is going to be in contradiction to about 29 other states.
Well,
What do you think it's going to do to Arkansas's medical marijuana industry?
Well, when you talk to the U.S. attorneys here who he sent the letter to, most of them are non-committal. They basically say, we don't know what the impact, but basically what it does, it takes a more hands-on approach. The Obama administration under former Attorney General Eric Holder had a more hands-on approach, a hands-off approach where we allow the states to do whatever they decide to do, the electorate. If they want to vote for medical marijuana or legalization of marijuana, then we're not going to get involved. We're not going to prosecute, even though it's still, marijuana is still illegal federally. Right. So.
We may see Congress take up the issue to clear it out and make it legalized.
Well,
so, that's some of the scuttlebutt on the street, at least.
Yeah, well, we know how fast Congress moves on big issues like this, so I don't see the, I've heard some scuttlebutt, but I don't see the momentum or behind it. But it is one of those issues that got bipartisan support.
Sure, and 60% of the states in the union have some form of legal marijuana, so we'll see what happens there. All right. Let's talk about some current news from Monday. UAMS laying off 600 jobs. 258 of them actually were unfilled positions. They're not going to fill those, but still it's a massive layoff for UAMS as they try to make up a $30 million budget shortfall. What's at work here?
It's healthcare costs, rising healthcare costs. This week the governor is going to outline the budget for the fiscal session, and I think what's going to dominate that fiscal session is Medicaid, rising Medicaid costs, and that is going to be a big part of the discussions. Also, the so-called Big Six agencies at the state government, which includes higher education, UAMS, Department of Education, Corrections Department, Department of Human Services, they're going to send in their budget requests, and I think the discussions of UAMS is going to come up because their costs are not going to coming down. They tried an alliance earlier this year with Baptist to try to get in, focus on some of those.
Probably helping in some areas, but not going to make up a $30 million.
No, it's not. So I think you're going to start seeing more of this across the nation and possibly in Arkansas as these healthcare costs continue to rise and hospitals have to do something to create some synergies to cut costs.
Well, you stole my legislative preview question there because it is going to be about Medicaid. But they do fold into each other perfectly. You're right about that. You have reported, too, on Clean Line Energy that the big wind energy project starts in Oklahoma, cuts through big portions of Arkansas, ultimately winds up in Tennessee. It may be DOA, at least for now, if not forever. What was the thing that triggered this latest this latest development?
Well, two things. One, on both ends of it, in Oklahoma, there was a decision. Clean Line sold its Oklahoma assets to NextEra, which is a renewable energy giant out of Florida. And basically, what that means is that they no longer own the Oklahoma assets to start the wind energy in Oklahoma and bring to Arkansas. Then on the other end of the line, which it crosses Arkansas and it ends in Memphis, Tennessee, the Tennessee Valley Authority, which brings electric to the Memphis area, basically said we don't want to participate anymore. So that basically kills both ends of it. The only thing you have left is the Arkansas portion of it,
which is where the most obstruction or dissent towards the project existed. So
Yeah.
Oklahoma generally in favor, Tennessee generally in favor. It was Arkansas is where
the
we saw the landowners
really
push
didn't
back.
want it here, but they got approval in federal court. They got all the regulatory approvals in Arkansas, but now they don't have the ends to bring it together. So and I think some of the investors are pulling back out of that situation.
Something that we'll keep an eye on. You broke that story. We'll keep an eye on that. Last question for you. This coming Monday will be what has been in the past the Martin Luther King / Robert E. Lee holiday, but this year it will just be the Martin Luther King holiday.
But we're going to be joining the rest of the nation. Everybody, the nation, 48 states except Alabama and I think Mississippi, celebrate Martin Luther King Day alone as a single day of a federal holiday, and that's what Arkansas is going to do, just joining the rest of the nation. And you know, one of the things I think really hasn't been brought out a lot. Governor Hutchinson took it was a big risk that he took to push this through the legislature. He got some flack from his right flank, but he put it out on his agenda. Said he came out and he spoke on it. And it's very rare when you see a governor come to a committee hearing and speak out on an issue, and he did that on both ends of the House and the Senate.
He did what we call spending some political capital.
Yeah, he did.
He
did, and he pushed this through. And I think he deserves most of the credit for getting this done.
It reminds me of the late Sid McMath when he was governor of Arkansas. I obviously wasn't alive then, but I interviewed him in his later years. A fascinating guy to speak with, and he told me, what's the point of having political capital if you're not willing to spend it? And so that's why he took some of the strong stands that he did back in the day. Governor Hutchinson does deserve some credit for this. All right, he's Wes Brown. He reports for Talk Business and Politics. You got some capital business to get to, don't you?
Yeah, I got to get out of here, man.
All right, thank you so much. That's all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. I'm Roby Brock. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Arkansas Electric Cooperative Corporation provides electric energy across 2/3 of Arkansas. This is an exciting time in our energy history, with incredible progress being made in renewable energy and storage technologies. As our energy portfolio continues to diversify, we'll maintain an all-the-above strategy to provide reliable and affordable electricity. Ever since the first light bulbs were placed in our members' homes, the electric cooperatives have been the solutions provider for our members, and we want to continue that well into the future.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America, moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.